Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. Today's program, we're talking National Night Out. Yes, it's that time of year again. Tuesday, August the 2nd is the date for the big event here in the city of Suffolk. And of course, it works because the citizens and communities getting involved. And speaking of getting involved, we're going to get involved with this topic coming up right after the break. We'll tell you about what's going to be happening this year and ways you can find out what's going to be happening in your community and the city as a whole when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene. Great time of year. We're talking about National Night Out, and really nobody does it better, at least we think so, than Suffolk, Virginia. We've been lucky enough to win the first place in the nation 3 times now. I had kind of a runner-up finish last year, but you know, it's not about just winning. It's about the fact that everybody participates in National Night Out, which means everybody's a winner. And to talk about everything going on in National Night Out this year in the city of Suffolk, we have Major Gerald Bransassy with the Suffolk Police Department here today. What's been your experience with National Night Out over the years, and what does it mean to you and the men and women of the police department, fire department, and other public safety entities here in our city?
Well, in our city, it's been fun because being here as long as I have, I got to start out with the program when it started in Suffolk. And from the officer level, got to go out and understand the birth and the growth of National Night Out, what it means nationally, but what it means here in our local community. And now it's our opportunity, in my personal opinion, and in the perspective of the department, it's our opportunity to go out and thank the citizens for what they've done the entire year, not just that night, but what we've been doing the whole year. And I say we, the partnership between the community and the police.
And I think you hit on it right there, the partnership, because National Night Out doesn't work if the community and the citizens here in our city aren't involved.
Correct.
I mean, they are the driving force behind this thing. By having, you know, the parties in their neighborhoods or having the combined parties or whatever, these events that go on. And again, when we're talking about events, National Night Out, of course, the message is saying no to crime.
Yes.
That's the big message here. But these events go on, these block parties, these neighborhood parties, and things are happening, and we're just observers. We get to go in there and you know, and see all this great stuff that's happening, the fun, the camaraderie, neighbors meeting with neighbors, and people going outside and really just having a great community event.
And it's that, and I think the other important piece of it is the opportunities for the officers and the citizens to interact in a comfort environment, if you will. It's by no means any enforcement taking place.
Sure.
There's not any concerns being addressed because, like I said, we've addressed those concerns every day of the year. And this is the opportunity where we get to dance, where we get to play basketball, where we get to do some cornhole. Whatever the community has going, the officers, when they go into the community on that night, they get the one-on-one interaction, have some good food, and play some games with the citizens.
And of course, Tuesday, August the 2nd is the date for this year's National Night Out event. It's set nationally, and that's, of course, we follow the procedures there and recognize it here in the city of Suffolk. Everything kicks off with a kickoff ceremony over at the Suffolk Visitor Center.
Yes, sir.
So we have some dignitaries there. We load up on our tour buses and go out there and go out into the communities. And we talk about the tours. Certainly, we have the bright lights and the sirens and stuff for police and fire kind of leading the way there. But those tours, you know, you talk about the interaction. Is people who are going out as groups around different areas of the city to see what's going on. Yeah, we do. There's some judging that's going on, so the community awards are presented at the end. But again, everybody's a winner. I keep stressing that, and it's the truth. But those tours, when they go out, and I know you're as you said before, a veteran of the tours. But just talk about what some of your experiences have been over the years when you go out there and you're mixing and mingling with everybody in the community.
I think one of the very unique things about the tours, Tim, is that it's not a judge and a police officer.
Right.
It's public safety, it's public service, and it's even government, because a tour van, if you will, which is what we use here in the city, it will have officers from the jail, it'll have officers and firefighters from the fire department, it'll have deputies from the sheriff's department, and of course police officers from the police department. It could also have a council member or a city executive staff member, chief of staff, the mayor, the manager, the deputy manager. So the tour itself is where the community really gets to interact with the city of Suffolk. And I say the city of Suffolk is a government agency and the public safety personnel. So, and it's fun. We go out, we joke, we laugh, we make a presentation of participation. so the community understands we appreciate what they're doing at that particular location within their specific entity.
And of course, the city is so big. I mean, I can remember back, I've been with the city a few years now, and we didn't have as many tours as we do now. I think we have darn near pushing 6, 7, 8 tours maybe in some respects. And it's just because we're so big and everything has grown so much. But the growth has come not just with the city by itself, but the fact that so many communities are participating. I think, I want to say it's over 60 that are participating, and that's communities and businesses alike that are involved in this. And of course, we trying to make this, the tour stops, if you will. It's not just about the tour stops. It's about the events you have going on. You know, people have little parades. People have, you know, like you said, basketball, or they have dunk booths and do all kind of different things. Music, I think, is the big predominant thing that you see throughout. You know, we have a couple of really big events. I think about the one over at Obussy and the one in Chuckatuck, but those are communities coming together to do a bigger event. But, you know, whether you just have a neighborhood, a simple cookout, or you have several neighborhoods or a bigger community coming together, the big deal is going out there, celebrating National Night Out, hanging out with your neighbors, saying no to crime, and doing what you do in your community to make your community stronger, which of course makes the whole city better.
Correct, Tim. And I had the opportunity last year to visit a group that it was their first time, and they were actually voted Rookie of the Year, if you will.
Right.
And that particular group, when we went there, maybe had 8 people there. But those 8 people, we had the opportunity to listen to them and talk to them. And then when we go to a larger community that's been involved with the program for a number of years, there's 20, 30 people there, and there's still the mingling, if you will, that takes place. So it doesn't matter the size of the group, but what matters the most is that the group is involved, and they want to do it because they do want to show the rest of their community and show the rest of the region and the state that they are involved with making their community a safer place to live and work.
And I think, again, you hit the nail on the head there when you talked about it doesn't matter the size. It's the fact that you're doing something.
Yes.
I mean, all these events we're talking about are free and open to the public and all the communities. We publicize them on the National Night Out website, and we'll put that URL up on the screen so you can kind of go visit that. So we get a little closer. We know when everybody's doing what they're doing, so that you can sit there, you as a citizen or someone watching this program goes, you know, I want to go to that party. I want to go to this party. You can hit a couple of them if you want to, if you'd like. But again, it's communities coming together to say no to crime, being communities, showing the true strength in our city, and the fact that we as members of the government, public safety, everybody coming together, you know, we're just a small part of this. It's the communities that are driving this.
And that is the other point, Tim, is that it is the communities that do this. We don't do that. We provide some assistance, if you will, in their preparation and planning, and we provide them some banners. But what they do and how they do it is what they have decided.
Correct. That's right. And again, it's decisions those communities are making to show their pride, to show that, I mean, again, you see all kind of different people, you see all kind of different events and things. And, you know, I know I've had a chance to go around to different parties over the years, and it's just always fun. It's hot. We know that. It's August.
Usually the hottest day of the year.
We say that all the time, and I know it's surprising to say it's a hot day in the middle of the summer, but it seems to work out that way. But it doesn't matter the temperature. No. It doesn't matter. I think one year we might have had a threat of inclement weather. Some rain might have chased us around, but everything still happened.
Everything still happened.
And you know, again, there are, you know, community awards that follow, but everybody gets a participation plaque because the participating is the biggest step right there. And so I would encourage anybody out there that thinking about having an event in your community, there's still time to get on board. And again, go to the National Night Out website. A lot of great information there. You can see exactly the entry forms and everything, and how to contact the city to kind of get your location on the tour stop. Now, there is a deadline, so make sure you adhere to that. But again, it's just participating. So if you don't have if you want to do something as an individual, maybe there's a community near you, and that's why we put that information out there, so you can find one to kind of latch onto and be a part of that. But, you know, whether it's just hamburgers, hot dogs, the food, I think we just talk about that.
Food, it doesn't matter where you go, there's probably a different menu at each one because of a manner in which that community prepares their food.
Right.
But I enjoy the fish, and the hamburgers are always good, and I missed the fish tour last year, and I'm getting on the fish tour this year.
Good deal. It's all about strategy, right?
It's all about strategy.
Well, you know, Major, at the National Night Out kickoff event that we held here at City Hall a few weeks ago, I mean, I was really moved by some of the things you had to share with the people that were in attendance that night about what National Night Out again means to you, what it means to our community, and what it means, you know, for the city of Suffolk as we continue to move forward. I don't know if we could just kind of reflect on that a little bit about the words you used that evening to kind of talk to the people there who were there to sign up and be a part of it. But again, it's never too late.
It's never too late, definitely. And it is about the community involvement. It is about showing the relationship that public safety, not just the police, but public safety has to have with the community. All the years that I've been in this uniform and served in the various capacities as I came up through the ranks, there isn't anything that I did and became successful at without the assistance of the community. And we can't solve the major crimes, we can't solve the minor crimes on our own. We have a wonderful department of very respectful and dedicated and intelligent police officers, but still yet we have to have the community involvement in order to do our job. And that's one of the reasons why I like National Night Out so much, is because we don't go out there and solicit. We're fortunate in our community that we don't have to go solicit the help. We use National Night Out to go out and thank them for the help. Because this is like a birthday party or an anniversary where we get together and we say we've done a good job this year and we're going to continue to do a good job next year, because it's not about the one night, it's about reflecting on the whole year.
That's right. The relationships and the friendships and the camaraderie that's shared there is something that's really been going on. You're just celebrating that particular night.
Yeah.
It's not something that just happens one night a year. We like to think National Night Out, as you said, is a year-round event,
right,
in the sense of we're just highlighting the strengths of our community, the strengths of our city, and really the good things that are happening. And again, all in the name of saying no to crime. So that's really the bottom line of what we're talking about there.
And it's building bridges.
That's right.
It's building bridges. And everybody in Hampton Roads can appreciate bridges. We like our bridges to work right. And here in Suffolk, our bridges do work right. And that's what this event is about. It's about building those bridges, which is why we have a successful community in regards to taking a bite out of crime and saying no to crime, and the 365 days. And it's the celebration of what we've all worked so hard this past year to accomplish.
And of course, the bridges we're talking about building have no tolls attached to them.
No tolls.
Again, National Night
Free
Out,
party.
free and open to the public, Tuesday, August the 2nd. Again, if you don't know of a party near you, be sure to check out the website, a great way to find out what's going on in your community or just throughout the city. So I can encourage you to do that. Major thanks for spending time with us today.
Thank you, Tim.
Talking about National Night Out, and we'll have more on the scene when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene. Again, we're talking about National Night Out here in the city of Suffolk, set for Tuesday, August the 2nd, 2016, a date you definitely want to put in your calendar. And we have two guests today who have circled it on their calendar, who are experienced veterans of National Night Out, and have two approaches to it that we're going to talk about, so you know a little bit more about what's going to be happening this year, especially in their communities. And we have two very special guests, as I said. We have Kusi Hamlin, who is the co-chair with the National Night Out OBC National Night Out celebration, and Pastor Aaron Burgess with the Suffolk Church of God, who his community is actually the reigning Rookie of the Year. Right. And Kusi, your group, I think, is the combined community award winner several years in a row, because you guys just keep getting bigger and bigger every year, which is a great thing. But again, thank you both for being with us today. Well, Pastor Burgess, I'm going to start with you. Rookie of the Year from last year, got your community involved in National Night Out. What has it meant to you, your community, your church, for what your participation has been in National Night Out and what you're planning again for this year?
What it's meant for us is that it shows our community that we care for them, that we're there for them, that we want to be a part of their lives, and we want to be there not just on Sundays, but every day of the week. And so that's the message it has relayed to our community. And for my church, it has kind of spurred the mindset that we can do something, that a smaller congregation can make a difference.
And it's funny you said that, because we just talked with Major Bransassy about that. It doesn't matter the size of your celebration on National Night Out, it's the fact that you're participating. Because yes, we have judging in the communities, but it's meant in good spirit, of course, with that, but everybody who participates is a winner. I mean, the fact that you're getting out there, you're saying no to crime, you're coming together with your neighbors, meeting people, strengthening relationships that are already there. I think that's the key when we talk about National Night Out for everyone. And your community is certainly a representation of that. And Kusi, I mean, of course, you've been with us before. We've talked about National Night Out, but what has it meant for your and again, when we talk about the situation as far as Kusi's bringing to the table, it's not one community, it's one really big community.
Right.
And again, this year your event is actually moving to a different location, so
Yes.
you want to talk about what y'all have in store this year, and it seems, like I said before, to get bigger and better every time.
Yes. This year we're moving to the Kings Fork Middle School because the hospital is going to start construction on a new building. And what it's done for us, it's actually expanded to where we have almost triple the amount of space this year, which means we have more room for more communities, more neighborhoods that aren't celebrating somewhere.
Sure.
They can come out and join us. And then we'll have basically a second stage area for lots of the floor entertainment that we have. What's special about our event is that we have we teamed up with Centera Obici Hospital 4 years ago, and they wanted to do something where they can have a more direct relationship and connection and all with the communities. So the first year we had 5 weeks to put the event together. We had 4 different neighborhood communities that joined forces, and we had a really nice turnout, and it was great for everybody. So we did it again and again, and now this year again.
Right.
So this is our 4th year as a combined community event.
Right.
Each year it's gotten bigger and better, and we're learning from trial and error, like with anything else, what works and what doesn't work. The great thing is that this year we get to do it at the school and have a lot more participation from the community and the schools. Last year, one of the biggest highlights was the Kings Fork high school bands. And it was great. It was wonderful. They were a huge hit. So when the motorcade came in, it was fun to have them come out ahead of time, like a parade. I mean,
Right.
so that was a lot of fun. And this year we're expanding entertainment. We have the Kings Fork high school bands and all of their teams that go along, drum lines and flag teams and so forth. We have the Army's Tradoc Band, which is an ensemble of 5 to 7 people, and they play a variety of music. We have the Peanut City Cloggers, which are a favorite, and a new addition this year for entertainment is the Suffolk Cultural Arts Center is bringing over their Mosaic steel orchestra. So we're going to have a steel drum band there.
Good.
And we have the YMCA, the Suffolk Family YMCA, and the recruiting offices. I think one of the biggest thing with the recruiting offices is that they've helped us out actually before we even started doing this at the hospital. For them, it's become a highly visible event, and they go all out. You have no idea all the help that they give us by literally delivering flyers to individual homes and setting up and so forth.
Now, as far as with your event, I mean, it's truly a committee that comes together, and I think you have a lot of great people that you're working with to pull this off, because not only is it your work, but you partner with a lot of businesses and gotten sponsors and things to make that event grow like you've talked about.
Right.
Just talk about how that's worked for you and the group to kind of reach out there and get that other community involvement, which has really made your event, just like every other one in the city, a really big success.
What we've done is we've tried to keep the small feel by having everything be free.
Right.
So completely free hot dogs, burgers, watermelon, water, and we have a lot of restaurants nearby that come out and give us samples to everybody, so they get an idea of what they have there. And what we do is we start in January. We start in January.
Right.
And we start gathering sponsors, and the sponsors, that's where all the money goes, literally, is to pay for all the food and a little bit of the advertising that we have to do, and licenses and stuff.
Correct.
But what's great about it is that everybody has a different talent. The hospital puts on a first-class health fair, and they're expanding this year. They offer a lot of free tests, and they have a lot of organizations that come out to help promote and have literature that has to do with, their specialty.
Sure.
What else?
Well, let me ask both of you this, and Pastor Burgess, I'm going to let you kind of lead off on this one. For communities that haven't gotten involved before or considering getting involved, what would you say to encourage people to make that step to, and again, whether you're partnering with another community, whether you're doing your own event, whether you're just going to attend an event that maybe you're offering or whatever, what would you do to get people to make that step to come out there this year and participate in what has really become a huge event in our city?
I think the first place to start is getting the mindset right. You can't do everything, but you can do something. And once you get that mindset, then it's crucial that you start with this philosophy. You start where you are, you use what you got, and you do what you can. And the rest kind of falls into place. Our experience last year with this was we had some canopies that our church had, so we set them up to provide shade.
Yes.
We just received a inflatable, so we put that up and had a friend that let us borrow a PA system. And of course, we had the hot dogs and the snacks, and we just kind of offered that out as free as well.
Sure.
And so we just started where we were. We used what we had and we did what we could. And that made an impact, and it reached people. And so that would be the message I would encourage anybody that is looking to get involved. Number one, realize, no, you can't do everything, but you can do something.
Right.
And then remember that you have resources. So take what you have and put it to use.
Very good. Very well put. Kusi, I'll offer the same question to you. What would you do to encourage someone to participate, attend, either your event or the pastor's event, one of the ones? And of course, again, I refer everybody to our National Night Out website if you want to find out an event that's going on in your community or somewhere else in the city that you want to take part in. It's a great resource to tap into, and the closer we get, certainly we'll have those details and things on there. But Kusi, your words of encouragement to people in the community.
I think it's very important to get involved because the whole point is to build better communities, relationships with each other as well as with our local law enforcement. And I feel that at our event, yes, it's big, but we do have a lot of presence of, the fire department and the sheriff's department, and a lot of education that's handed out. And actually, for us, I wanted to keep some of that small feel. And what we did this year in our neighborhood, we started a smaller scale of 4 different events in our neighborhood that lead up to National Night Out, including the Dog Walker Watch.
And I think that's the thing. And both of you have touched on it. It's not what you do; it's the fact that you're doing something. And the fact is, every event, if you go to any community in the city of Suffolk that has a National Night Out event, everyone has its own different flavor, and that's because it's in their community. You want to reflect the community that you're in. But the beauty is, it's all under the National Night Out umbrella, in the sense of, and again, it doesn't work without citizens like yourself, people getting involved. It's not what the city's doing, it's what the residents are doing. And those communities are getting out there and doing that and coming together, big, small, medium, whatever your size, it doesn't make a difference. It's the fact that your t-shirt says it right there. It's National Night Out. That's what we're all doing together. And everybody is strengthening relationships, both within their communities and with our public safety folks, just to talk about, again, what's going on in your community, saying no to crime, keep stressing that, because that's the real impetus behind why we're even doing this in the first place. And it's not just about winning awards, and it's great that the city has won first place in the nation 3 times now, not to brag, but we have done that. But it works because of folks like you and folks like you that are out there doing your part in your community to make this event work. So we have probably just about a minute or so left, so I want to give you both a chance to, one last comment about National Night Out, what it again means to you, your community, and maybe a little, again, just very briefly, what you have in store this year. Pastor, I'll start with you.
Thank you. For me, with the condition that we're in right now as a nation, I think it's vital that we come together and connect. One thing that I've been stressing the past week is you have to connect in order to understand, because we all want to understand, so therefore we must get together and connect in whatever community we are in and whatever event we go to. And so when we connect, we understand, and then we must also realize that we're all just one city. And so even though there's multiple activities going on, it's one city, it's still one place, and we're still one voice. And so as we come together on August the 2nd, even though it may be in multiple places, in reality it's still one place. It's the great city of Suffolk, and we're all speaking the same language of unity, oneness, cooperation, understanding. So we're carrying the same message. And I would just stress to our wonderful people, let's get out, let's do something, let's partner together. We don't have to agree on everything, but we can agree that our city is great and we want it to maintain that greatness.
Yeah.
Susie?
I feel that, you know, we're very fortunate to be in Suffolk, and thankfully that crime and all has gone down over the years, and I think events like this help make that, you know, it makes a difference.
It does.
And in order to keep the crime low and all, it's important to continue having events and just things where people can connect with each other. So.
Again, we're talking community, and I want to thank both of you for taking the time to be with us today to talk about your success stories with National Night Out. And again, everybody's a success if you participate. And then your words of encouragement, and again, taking the time to pull something back and do something for your community. And Pastor, as you said, make the city of Suffolk better as a whole because everybody's coming together. So again, thank you both for that.
Thank you.
Look forward to National Night Out 2016, Tuesday, August the 2nd. Put it on your calendar. Be sure to check out our website and find an event in your community. Or if you want to go to a different part of Suffolk, go to a different part of Suffolk. But just participate in National Night Out somehow, some way. That would do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.